Ferraro looking at the score, and I think he asked for his second re-rack on lane 16. What's interesting here, besides everything else, is Dave had the choice of where to finish, and he wanted to finish on 16. He's yet to get a strike there. Ooh, a little slow 10-pin.
Just took it a while, but Ferraro now has a double as the two lovely ladies look on.
And watch this 10-pin here. 6 just goes over, nudges it, and before that messenger can get across to deliver the message, it had already fallen.
Trying to keep his string intact on the left-hand lane. A beautiful shot for Ferraro, who strings together 3 in a row. And we'll come back with more here in Tucson, but no stills from my partner, Mike Durbin. We have to go to the video to remember when he last won here in Tucson.
Oh, last strike ever.
Looked to me like you carried everything. And yes, Stayrook, who now trails by 24 and works on a double, steps up in the 7th. Regardless of whether he wins or loses, this will be a memorable afternoon for Jess, because he became only the 3rd player in the history of the PBA on national television to convert the 7-10.
And what's interesting is how he was able to recompose himself, put that behind him, and come right back with a double.
Needs 2 more to close the gap.
He didn't know that was going to hold or not. He didn't get it as wide, but it held pocket. Oh, the same guy.
The thing that's interesting, though, is the fact that Ozio is here to help you with your arm swing. And, of course, he was the guy that basically put you off the national tour when he defeated you right on 15 and 16 back in 1985.
I should have reminded him of that, huh?
Plenty of strikes now in the stretch run of game number 2. Keep in mind, Stayrook shot .250 in the opening test to knock off Walter Ray Williams.
And he can still shoot .246 this game. I'll tell you, with that conversion, I think he's the crowd favorite now.
Boy, if we could get an opportunity to see that strike again. One of the things that Jess chatted with me about concerning synthetic lanes, and they put synthetic lanes here in Golden Pin 2 days after last year's tournament, is the fact that the pin action is so tremendous.
Watch that head pin, how fast it comes off and knocks that 6-pin out of there. Back to live, and Ferraro trying for 4.
Looked like he tried to move in on the right-hand lane, which has presented the problems as the baby splits, and Dave was not happy at all with that shot.
Has to make this to stay in the lead. Has to convert this. He's not switching balls, using the same ball. Perfect. Was that professional? I mean, he wasn't even concerned about it. It was like shooting a 5-pin.
I think the thing that I like about what Dave does, his approach is the same amount of time is taken for every shot, regardless of whether it's baby split, 5-pin, strike shot, or whatever.
I don't know whether he practiced this in the practice balls right over the 4th arrow, clipped it just on the right. There's the conversion.
Still a possible .238. He might need all of it. He needs a strike here as this one goes down the lane a little longer than the previous shot, and he leaves the ring in 10.
And came in when that happens, when that ball comes in behind the 1-3 a little bit, that 6 will go sailing right around the 10.
Which is exactly what happened. Now the best he could shoot with a spare would be .227.
He's in trouble.
Stayrook, who took advantage of converting a 7-10 split in the 4th, is down by just 1 with an opportunity to finish him off just like he did with Walter Ray.
Right. Strike in the 9th puts him in the lead for the first time in the game. Light hit. 9 pins up now.
Without question, Jess Stayrook has it going.
Boy, he hits this one thin. The one pin barely hit the 3. It was almost a bucket crumbler strike. But he's in the position now that if he strikes now, the match is basically over.
I want to reiterate, though, and talk about that pin action. Do you see those pins flying on the deck?
Well, that is characteristic of synthetic lanes and synthetic pin decks. For the lockout. Oh, my goodness. The light pin giveth and the light pin taketh away.
Taketh away. A solid strike shot, and he ends up with 9.
But he needs to recompose himself, make the 8-pin that he left here, strike and finish with 225 to force Ferraro to get 2 and 9.
Jess is still kind of chuckling to himself, saying, now, I didn't deserve the strike on the right-hand lane, but that was the best shot I threw all week. Now, what about Ferraro? The right-hand lane has not been a good one.
Trusted it out to around the first board. Watch it go right through and chop that 5 right off the 8. To answer your question, Dave Ferraro has the reputation, and a well-earned reputation, as being a clutch bowler. Let's see if he can live up to it. He has not done that in recent years, the last 2 or 3 years in these kinds of situations.
Stayrook with a beautiful performance. 224, and with the conversion of the 710, no matter what happens, I think Jess is going to appreciate this day for a long, long time. But now Ferraro with an opportunity to win the match.
I don't know what happened. Something bothered his concentration. I don't know if the clock is still ticking. With him, he gets off so quick it wouldn't matter, probably.
Give it a little room. He made the adjustment. First shot is in there, and he leaves a solid 4 and walks away disappointed, as does Gloria. Excellent shot, just didn't happen.
And that's what's happened to him the last 2 or 3 years, as Gloria shakes her head and says, how come again? And he's made the good shots when he needed to, but something stood.
Looked like he went with a little more speed, perhaps, on that shot to hold pocket, and it almost did, but...
Well, when you throw the ball basically straight like Dave does anyway, your tendency under pressure is to pick up the speed a little bit and play the tight line. I mean, get the ball in the 1-3 and take your chances. Well, there's Gloria watching. Kathy barely can look. Disappointment on one hand and relief on the other.
Awful tough when they have to sit next to each other. They're all pretty good friends out here on the tour, but it's a 224 to 214 victory for Jess Stayrook. Only the 3rd PBA player in history to convert the 710 and live to tell about it, at least in the championship round. We'll be back to